We're going to be jumping into another game here in just a second at the TI7 Qualifiers. We're in the EU region right now. I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend himself. Living legend, in fact.
I'm a living legend.
I
I am not worthy.
Are you not worthy?
I mean, what?
What
does living legend even mean? Like,
okay, so this is what it means
how
to me.
many Dota players are dead legends?
This is, well, accurate, I guess. But to be a living legend means you need to have casted a TI finals with the one and only Luminous.
Oh God.
Yes. And Top Shelf Lumi, anyone who's worked with him, is just automatically living legend. That's how it works.
You know, Lumi has cast 3 TI finals.
He has.
The only guy that's cast more is Toby. And that is a
Wait, did he cast 3?
Yeah. TI2, TI3,
2,
TI4.
3, 4. He did.
Yeah.
What a man.
He got the triple crown. Meanwhile, somehow Toby weaseled his way into 4, I think, at this point. Maybe 5.
Yeah, TI1, 5.
We all know Lumi is the real OG.
I agree.
I agree. We're all Lumi fans here.
He taught me everything I knew about math,
Yeah.
which is not much.
Got him. All right, guys. Welcome back to Dota, to the EU region, as Andy mentioned. It's Singularity versus Crescendo. Crescendo 0-2. They did have to face Secret, one of the tougher, probably the toughest team by far in the groups.
They did also lose to 4 Protect 5, though.
Ugh.
It's really important if you want to stay, I guess, in the top part of the group that you don't drop games to...
Take care of business.
Yeah, you can't drop games like that. You have to be able to convincingly win against pretty much everybody but Secret. And Secret did not look weak in that last game. They looked very, very good. And they just... Their efficiency was better, their movement was better, their draft was also really solid, and they just kind of walked right through them. So moving into the next game, I kind of wanted your opinion on this because this is something that I feel is a bit more subjective. But how do you feel about like the best of 1 versus playing a best of 3 against teams where you're basically not getting much of a break, right? You're playing one game, and like every single game is a different team. So how do you feel like round robin comparative to like best of 3s really makes a team feel?
I mean with this format, like it's what, like you play, you're not playing like every time slot, right? So you get a little time off to like look at replays, see what teams are doing, I guess, but you can't like adapt, as you were mentioning in the last series. So maybe you get some tape on them, but in BO1s, like things can be like, you can't really learn anything from Secret picking Lich that game. Except maybe if you pick Lycan, they'll pick Lich against you, you know.
Yep.
So I think it makes it hard to like really prep for teams because there's so many individual drafts to watch going on at once, and you know, you don't really get a chance to like put what you learned about them into practice because you play the one game and that's it.
You just have to focus like so much on what you want to do.
Right. I think that's the teams that do best are the ones that like VP basically. Not in like the they're gonna pick a different hero every game aspect, but in the they don't really care what you're picking. They're just gonna draft their draft.
Right.
So
yeah, that's a really good point. I like that. It just feels like it feels so stressful to play like that kind of thing, especially when you're saying, okay, you win the group, you get in. Like that's
and
just
it's very different from like TI. You know, there's 18 teams this year. The bottom 1 team in each group goes home. On the flip side, in this format, you have to finish top 5 out of 10. Like you have to be in the upper half just to stay alive.
Yeah.
You need to win the group to actually get the guaranteed slot for EU at least. So a lot of pressure in this group stage. Every game really does matter. We could have some crazy-ass tiebreakers. Who knows? But, all right, Andy, let's talk the draft here. So, Puck overall first pick. The Lone Druid and Dazzle come out from Crescendo.
they did this earlier, except they opened Lone Druid something. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But maybe it was AA. Was that the game where they played Ancient
Maybe,
Apparition?
because, well, they went Lone Druid AA.
Yeah, I think they
That's
opened
kind
Lone
of
Druid
an
AA.
interesting opening.
When they played against 4 Protect 5, they lost that game. But because they had Rubik and AA supports. It was like back when, you know, Vici used to play it. It felt very similar.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they didn't win that game. Obviously, they have yet to win here in the group stage. They put a lot of faith into the Lone Druid pick, though. And even so much so, whereas the last game it was banned. When they played against Secret, they actually took it out.
So Singularity, on the flip side, they go for the Slardar here. Traditionally considered one of the best ways to like punish Lone Druid, just amp the bear and whack it.
It's really good, yeah.
But they don't have anyone who really hits that hard right now.
Well, they can still go back for something like a Razor if they want. It's still very good against what...
You can still static link the bear, right?
Yes.
That's super annoying, actually.
It is crazy annoying. Like, I'm not much of a lone druid player myself, as you probably would expect, but I think that that is one of the worst matchups for lone druid. Even in lane especially.
Why would I expect that you're not a lone druid player?
Because I hate microing.
Oh, okay.
It's not that I can't, it's that I hate doing it.
I want like too much effort.
Yeah, it depends on the micro though. Like I don't mind playing Naga because it's pretty much you just shift Q your illusion to a place and like to another place or whatever. It's not really that hard.
You're not like constantly having to like bounce multiple units back and forth. It's just like routing them, just like send them to their final destination.
It's like I know where you want to go.
Set it and forget it, basically.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. But anything else just seems very tedious to me.
Crescendo, the counter to Sladar is Sven.
Interesting.
Warcry.
So,
core. I mean, we did see one support Sven from VP at the summit. It was kind of like a curveball, though. Generally, Sven is a core.
10 seconds remaining.
Most frequently picked as a counter to Bristleback, I would say. But the Bristle was already banned.
in the current meta, yes.
Yeah.
Warcry, though, is invaluable against heroes like Slardar. It's incredibly good. 20 armor on a pretty short cooldown, and the movement speed as well doesn't hurt.
Yeah, they have physical mitigation and damage on lock here with the Dazzle Sven.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more Dazzle. I know Secret, for example, likes the hero a lot because Puppy's a huge Dazzle fan, always has been. But for the most part, it's, you know, he's coming back a little bit here and there. I just think Weave is insane. Like, it's so good. All these heroes building, like, early game focused items, not, you know, besides the Solar Crest, not a lot of them really give you armor. And you get drawn into this long engagement, you just start getting chunked for so much damage. Doesn't even matter. Like, you could be a support, you could be, you know, a mid lane carry, whatever. You're just gonna hit hard. Singularity picking up the Jakiro.
10 seconds remaining.
So I'm guessing this is gonna just have to be. Wait, one of these heroes is farming.
Yeah, probably.
Is it just the offlane Slardar? Maybe they do like a 2-1-2 or something, and then they last pick another core to go with the tree.
Offlane Slardar seems like he's gonna have a very bad time this game.
Well, if it's Slardar and Jakiro.
Oh, that's true. That wouldn't be. They could even like tri-lane with the tree.
Yeah, it wouldn't be super off. Okay, there's the Razor ban. Kind of expecting that.
Yeah, so then Singularity still looking for another farmer here.
I would say so.
Crescendo will be probably. I imagine it's Sand King Dazzle support. Guess you never know for sure though.
That would mean either offlane or mid lone druid.
That's true.
But I don't know if they would put Steve in that position. I think Excalibur. I think you have to give the lone druid the decent lane.
So you give him the safe lane.
But then what do you do with the Sven? I don't know. It's really weird.
Tri-lane Sven.
I'll have to see the last pick to really know for sure what they want to do. Because right now, I'm looking at Singularity and I'm thinking, they have some pretty good laning heroes. You know, Tree, Puck, Jakiro, all pretty decent. Slardar's not bad either. And then Crescendo are pretty much in the same note. Like, neither of them really have exploitable lanes, I would say.
Alright.
They're just kind of solid.
What is going to round this draft out?
I mean, even Singularity are at a point where they're looking at this lineup of Crescendo and they're going, okay, who's going where? What do we need to really focus on? In these situations, sometimes it might just be best to ban a hero that you feel just does well against your lineup.
10 seconds remaining.
Looks like they're going to ban another support, so they're thinking that it's going to be a farming Sand King, I guess.
I like the Tusk ban. The Snowball heal bomb is super annoying.
Yeah, they're just assuming that it's going to be Sand King off. And there's the Drow. Okay.
Radiant team pick.
Drow into Sven Dazzle.
Well, it does kind of say that they want to play a faster paced game. It's very good with Puck. Jakiro benefits from it as well. And the Liquid Fire is conducive to playing 5-man Dota because the tower just never really attacks. You know, you get the attack speed slow and it just shoots like once every 2 seconds. Very good siege lineup coming in here from Singularity.
They're decent at protecting the Drow as well
All right.
with the Slardar tree bodyguards. But Crescendo back off for the Viper, so
Yeah, it is offlane Lone Druid, after all.
safe lane Sven, off lane Lone Druid, mid Viper. Interesting.
So Viper is just like, he is the lane winningest hero. Unfortunately for him, that doesn't necessarily mean he wins the game, it just means he wins his lane. Up against a Puck, it's a pretty favorable lane, I would say, for Viper. Because Puck is, you know, he wants to shove the wave some of the time just to be able to secure runes. So when you throw out illusory orbs, you can get hit by corrosive scan. It's super annoying. Really hard to phase shift a lot of this stuff that Viper wants to do. His poison attack is damage over time. You can dodge his ulti pretty easily. Which
It's
is
also
nice.
like a nice tool against the living armor.
Yeah, definitely.
5
So.
seconds remaining.
Kind of like that because they were a bit lacking there.
It's
Overall thoughts on the draft? Do you favor either team here, Andy?
I kind of want to say that Singularity, I think I like what they're doing a bit more. They are swapping the heroes on Crescendo, by the way. Originally, they had Excalibur on the Sven, and it looked like they were going to be sending it to the offlane, but they switched it back. So it's going to end up just being
EGM Sven.
Yeah, it's going to end up being the support Sven and Sand King offlane. Which I think, in the end, it's probably the better call, because it allows you this Sand King who's going to have more influence, rather than just being a support Sand King that runs around a lot and hopes that he can find kills, which can still be okay, but I think against a Drow lineup especially, you want that blink, like, fast.
So Fog just walked in. I think 3 of these jerseys are his, right? Archon,
The Archon one,
the
Dignitas one.
Dignitas, and the Navi NA.
Yes.
F-God. Bring in the jerseys.
Played on a lot of teams. He used to play with Universe.
And is the EG one his too? 'Cause he was on EG for a bit. Holy shit, are all of these jerseys?
Well, the Team Secret one's definitely not his.
Who's this the secret?
I don't know who that is.
We don't have a secret player here, right?
I
I don't think so.
No. Well, that would,
Someone poached a secret jersey, guys.
yeah. Or they just bought one.
Or Arteezy just gave it away after he left them for the umpteenth time. Burned it at the summit. We salvaged it from the fire.
Literally sewed it back together.
Yes. We reverse engineered it and then created our own. So here we go. Crescendo moving out, looking for their win as Kesor is going to reveal this smoke rotation. Crescendo unable to wrangle him. He is kind of chilling near that sentry. I think he knows it's there though.
He probably has a good idea.
The battle begins.
It was nice positioning too.
Well, they are gonna go offensive tri-lane. So how do you feel like this offensive tri-lane of Crescendo's is gonna match up against what Singularity are doing?
It's been anticipated already. They didn't even send the Drow top. He's already bought him. So they kind of knew what was going to be heading their way. As soon as they recognized that this is not the Drow lane, they might just relocate again. Just move bottom, buy some TP scrolls. They can keep the Sand King up here. Like, I don't think Cinder in minds either way. But you definitely want the supports to be, I think, against the lane with the Drow in it.
Yeah, so where you mentioned it's normally very annoying for the Puck laning against Viper, just playing against him in general. At least this game you are going to have the Drow Aura, so that may help. As Excalibur getting bullied a bit here in the bottom lane. Power of the Twin Head early, but I completely whiffed the first blood as they just dive onto Paytos. We'll find the kill here.
Yeah, I'm surprised they stuck around even long enough to go for that. I guess they're just feeling like the Lone Druid shouldn't really suffer too much in this matchup. They're going to be sending the tree bottom as well. Wow, they really do not want this Lone Druid to get items.
There.
Just a
hate
full-on aggro.
parade for Excalibur. Gonna leave Paytos to the Wolves or the Scorpions, as the case may be.
Okay, here we go. Here's the
All right,
teams.
everybody's team. We're gonna have a casual 6-hero lane showdown, and it'll be just a good old-fashioned 1v1 up top. That leaves Sand King 1v1 against Slardar. That is not fun for Slardar at all. And this might not be fun for Jakiro either, as they move in. Gonna lock him down with the Stormbolt, and then the follow-up auto attack secure the kill. Now looking for more, laying into Kesor. They get that poison touch damage, and now they likely get the kill. A bit of a hiccup there, but no hesitation by Crescendo. Make it 3-0 with Cinder and now having a cruisy little 1v1 up top on top of that.
This is almost the perfect start. You know, you get the first blood on the Slardar, you give your Sand King a lane advantage, he gets the first couple of waves, and then you get Caustic against a melee, and then you
And
TP
now you get a
bottom.
regen rune for your Viper who needed the mana.
My god.
Okay.
The dream.
The deck has been rigged.
The literal dream.
So what do they have to do to throw this?
Well, they can be over-aggressive and try to tower dive.
They're going to try to tower dive. Let's see if it's over-aggressive. Stormbolt's there. Moving on to Exotic Deer, but the Ice Path is on point. A 3-hero connection if you want to count that Spear Bear. Unfortunately, though, he does get trapped in a little bit. Kesor is on the chase, walking around under cover of nature's skies. They turn back for Ake, and Andy, I think you may have seen the future, my friend. I want some of whatever you're having. They will take Ake down.
Yeah, they just didn't know the tree was back already. That's why they went for it so fast. Like, they knew that they were on this timer where if the tree comes back to lane, then it probably wouldn't work. But if they go fast enough, maybe there's an opportunity to kill the drone.
On the mid lane, Nisha getting dove here. That Nether Toxin is really going to be painful for him. He does have the phase shift. He's going to use it. Wow, indeed, as he completely jukes out BBK. The orb back the other way. He goes in, and he goes in too deep. 10 HP. 10 HP.
Evaded by the Fairy Fire.
Was a nice phase shift, though.
It was.
Beautiful.
Very nice movement as well, like getting into that one little tree that fogs and getting the silence to prevent the poison attack from going on. That was nice.
Yeah, thinking maybe with the Drow Aura, you'd have just enough damage, but
It was very, very close.
10 HP, I think you gotta say that's just a bit unlucky for the puck.
You could honestly say that if he hit higher damage rolls, he would have killed him, you know? Because there is damage variance in your auto attacks, it's just not that much. But over the course of, what, how many hits was that, like 8 or 9?
I mean, it's 11 damage per attack that it can vary by, so fairly for the puck. Great Ice Path once again, but the Hail Bomb just ends Kesor. Cinder are now hunting for more, so they make this lane swap again. They're sending that Lone Druid to the offlane. Sin 20 and 3 had that cruisy 1v1 against Slardar. I'm going to switch it up. Meanwhile, the Radiant Courier did get sniped. So they are trying to chase the Spirit Bear down. Actually see where it died.
Yeah, I don't actually know how it died. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, how the heck did the courier
Because
die?
I checked mid, like there wasn't like, I thought, you know, maybe the tree had sniped it, but that was not the case. Not sure actually.
Middle lane.
I'm going to try to move on BBK here. They do get him with the lead seed, one more auto attack. Kesor making that rotation gets the job done.
So they've already moved Exotic Deer again. Looks like they're just throwing this poor Slardar to the Sand King lane at every single turn. He's going to have a very fast blink this game on Cinderin. He just gets a free lane basically no matter where he goes on the map.
And might get a little more than just a free lane as he finds that Slardar.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ, Ake. The man has a family. Take it easy.
That was so much damage. He does have a salve though. It's not like he'll be forced back to base too fast. Middle lane again here.
Still more action, just constant musical lanes, constant pressure. Move on to BBK, jump forward from Nisha. He phase shifts the Stormbolt, EGM. Speaking of baited, but still staying alive. The coil from Nisha, commitment from the puck. Tries to make it out. He is going to successfully retreat here. They even want to go further in EGM, so nice little salvage at Singularity get back into this game. If he doesn't phase shift that, I think they actually might lose 2 there.
Yeah, he definitely would have died along with the tree. No question. Because the double null draw aura is what's allowing them to kill the Viper. Most of the time, this matchup would not go nearly as well with the puck as it is in this game. But it seems like with the help of the tree, on top of everything else, it's enough to help him squeak by.
Yeah, you can see how confident Nisha is. He wanted to go for that silence into orb and kill off the Sven too, but EGM with the raindrops is just a little bit too tanky for that.
Top lane? Oh, not enough. Like, they hit him with a gust, but I guess only 1 point in the frost arrows doesn't more in a tower dive.
A little shrine up here in Crescendo. Might try to make a move, but they are walking past wards. Freshly planted. They even smoke.
They saw it.
Singularity, no. Something ain't right. Still, Ake may get a good ward down here. Plants it up on the high ground. So after all the musical lanes have settled down, I mean, checking on Excalibur, He's not having the best time right now. Only 24 CS. Initiation connects on the high ground. They are going to make their move on El Isas. Not quite able to kill him off, though, but TP away. Now the Burrow Strike through. Catches Exotic Deer 1 to help his friends, and he will pay with his life. The Drow Ranger is best off as a Lone Ranger.
Just a lot of pressure coming out from Crescendo. They're not really allowing Singularity to get that static laning phase that you want for a Drow team, a little bit of that. And then eventually you hit 6 or 7, you go for towers. Nisha middle lane.
Oh, he is pretty done for. That's, I mean, that's kind of like the matchup in a nutshell, where especially if you take the Drow out of the equation, that Viper Strike hits you, you're not having a good time.
On paper, it really shouldn't hit you, though. That's the one thing. Syndering gonna miss the burrow here.
It's all part of his master plan, as he will get rooted, then crushed, but in comes EGM from the rear. Hasn't been able to get those caustic stacks up, and never mind. No master plan.
I thought he was gonna go back in because his burrow was coming up in like 2 seconds. He had Epi.
Burrow Epi. He is.
I think in order to do that, though, he has to stun the Slardar, because the Slardar would have had a crush off cooldown to interrupt him, probably.
BBK. All the man wanted was a double damager. Nisha's going to engage here.
Ooh.
He again misses there on the dodge. Still, they're going to commit for this Viper, chasing forward. Viper Strike took him down to about half, though, and swinging in from behind is the Sand King of Cinderin. Looking for the opening. He is scouted out here by Dire Ward. Still wants to march in. They're still pressuring. They almost don't seem to care about Cinderin as he sweeps around from behind. Who's he going to jump on? He gets slowed down a little bit by the Dragon Knight. Now EGM lunging in towards Nisha. Still Cinderin trying to find a target. Kesor hides under cover of nature's guise, and now they orbit again. They're still chasing EGM. Cinderin whiffs the burrow as Nisha is ready with that phase shift. Can't dodge the Viper Strikes, but the Burrow Strikes, they ain't no thing for him. Still, they'll get the tree kill. Nisha orbing forward again. Once Cinderin jaunting into the neutrals. Can Cinderin strike the second time? He whiffs again. Cinderin, no, down he goes. Though, it's for a noble cause. The puck will fall.
Oh my. That was the first one. You can kind of understand because it was so close to the Burrow Strike timing that you can forgive missing that one. Nisha just had a perfectly timed phase shift. The second time he was already phase shift. So just a little bit of impatience coming in there from Sin. But like you mentioned, they do end up getting the puck anyway. Just maybe not getting the exchange.
It is also space created here for Excalibur. Like, he was not having a good start. Now he's the leader in CS. He's got his Midas. He's coming back into this game.
There are definite silver linings. Make his way towards the Radiance soon. And the Drow lineup has yet to really take a tower. That could change soon, though, with the smoke.
They're going to make their move, and it's on Excalibur. Instant coil break into the ice path, into the Drow, and into the grave.
Did you just Caster's curse that man into the ground? Is that what just happened?
I swear I wasn't trying to. But I like Steve. Excalibur's a...
Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
He's really nice, and I'm glad that he's back to playing, competitively.
You know, he's like one of the few players that I've never seen flame.
Aren't those usually the nastiest ones, though?
But it's weird because, we hung out a bit at TI7, I think it was. Maybe it was TI4. I don't remember. Whenever he was when he was playing, no, for Fnatic, it had to have been TI4.
Didn't they not let him play? Yeah, he still attended the event.
He was there.
But he wasn't allowed to play because Era was playing, right? There's that whole Fnatic letter drama.
Yeah. Hold
that thought. Okay, getting silenced up here. We'll get off the grave at the last second, and Kesor ends up diving too far for BBK, gets punished for it. They won't find any kills. But yeah, that was the TI where Fnatic wanted to use Excalibur instead of Era. They had that whole drama with the letters, and Valve made a blog post.
Yeah.
And then Steve still attended, but he didn't actually play the event.
Long story short, super chill guy.
Super chill Burrow Strikes here as well.
Yes.
Perhaps a bit overly chill. Cinderin needs that Blink Dagger, I think.
Yeah, he's a bit farther away, I think, at this stage than he probably wants to be. That extra death sets him back. But he does have 2 points and a Caustic and the 4 stun, so it doesn't really take him that long to farm it. He just needs to find a lane to go to sit in for 2-3 minutes.
Unfortunately, this bottom lane might not be the ideal one with that lane ward. But that said, he's going to burrow. This time, Drow Ranger, she ain't juking him. Does Gust, though, goes for the TP out. There's no fence stun available. And in the end, the Drow even makes it out. Cinderin is being foiled everywhere he turns, whether it's his fault or not. Things are just not paying off for him.
It's definitely not been the outside of the laning phase where he was just crushing it.
I mean, yeah,
It's
you would
been-
certainly hope he would have Sand King for Slardar, but it's been nothing since then.
There's still plenty of time left. I mean, his team is still in the lead. They got like a 5-kill advantage. They're up a little bit in net worth. It's really just down to he needs a couple of minutes of just a lane, and he will have his item.
Crescendo trying to push a little bit here on this bottom side of the map. Apply a wee bit of pressure. They even throw down the dire scan. Oh, Lisa's feeling safe that nobody's flanking him. And they're just waiting things out while Excalibur works his way towards the relic. Meanwhile, though, SNG is trying to apply that slightly earlier, more up-tempo pressure as they take advantage of the Drow to shove in that top lane a little bit, chipping away. Puck does have the Veil ready, so Nisha can make some moves here.
I feel as though they're not really playing like fast enough on Singularity. Like only taking one tower right now.
They want more.
Yeah, it looks like this tower's dead too. So that'll probably be Blink for Peytos. He's got 2,000 gold right now. They can go for a smoke after that. Maybe that secures another tower. And plus having the Slardar with the Drower means that Roshan dies instantly. Like they get, you know, less than a minute on Roshan, they'll probably have it down.
And Crescendo is not really that good at engaging into the pit, especially with Cinder not being that close to a blink. Still 800 gold away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Kind of scary that this Slardar is going to beat him to Blink Dagger. Like ever since Cinderin left that top lane,
He's
it's
getting
been
out
all
CS
downhill.
by Slardar.
Yeah. But I mean, if you look at the way he's playing, he's kind of transitioned into how he plays support in this game. He's kind of sitting behind people. He's going to weird places on the map, and he dies every once in a while, but it just seems like that's
Don't you
the
feel like
playstyle that
he
prefers.
needs to farm, though? Like,
I think so, yeah.
I think
he
they
needs to
need
take
a
lane.
blink on Cinder in this game.
I think he needs to take a lane. But I'm just saying, like, as a player, I think that's what he gravitates towards.
Right. It's just what his kind of comfort zone. He's been probably playing that role for, like, what, 2 years, I would say, or so at this point.
Yeah.
So it can be tough to adjust.
This tree is scouting out everyone. He's going in.
Sees you when you're sleeping.
He's not 6 though. It's kind of surprising. It's 14 minutes in. So no overgrowth.
They're getting ganks the Sven in the jungle. EGM overgrowth, or rather just the root, not the overgrowth.
That was
To lock him down.
probably not a necessary coil.
But
They're not going to have it for mid now, so that tower's just dead.
yep, Viper getting the last hit too, and now they're going to look to roast that Viper, but he gets off the Viper strike onto Peytos. Now amp damage as they look to grab him from behind, takes the tree punch, then the follow-up orb comes through. Epicenter being revved up, absolutely butchers the creep wave, drilled it. Now Cinderin's
my.
on the run. Oh, this is a rough one for him.
That was, you know, oddly enough, even though he missed the epicenter, because of the fact that Nisha used a coil on a dead Sven, they weren't really able to get anything there. Like, they probably would have killed the Viper if he didn't waste coil. And that's one of those things where you have to look at it and be like, I need to be a little less greedy about how I pop my ultimate. But he's now got Blink, the puck. So he's got the Blink and the Veil. It's 15 minutes in.
That's really big against Dazzle to have that Blink Veil.
Yeah, you can pop him. 700 health, you can absolutely just kill him.
That's, I mean, I imagine that's your ideal target. Sven's quite beefy. Sand King will be nice, but a little bit more difficult to catch.
Yeah, I think if you can see him, you definitely want to go for him. The other opportunity to go for is the Sand King, just to stop him from getting that potential blink off, which we'll have soon.
Excalibur is trapped down here a little bit. EGM trying to war crying back towards safety. He's going to turn and start munching on Peytos as the bear helping him out. A follow-up crush, though, nets them the kill. And no assistance as BBK is farming up bottom lane. Did go for the BOTs on the Viper, so not too often you see that. Generally, like with Viper, you're just looking for that more early to mid-game fighting with the team style, but he's going to be doing a little more farming and spreading of the map.
Yeah, I saw Bots Viper before, but I think it was in a game where they were getting split pushed constantly. And then it makes sense because you want that mobility to be able to get around in the map. But in this game, I'm kind of with you. It's a little strange. I mean, bots aren't bad in the sense that if you eventually fill your inventory with other items, having bots is great because then you just don't have to carry TPs, and it's a much shorter. Yeah, it's a much shorter cooldown. But as it pertains to what their team needs to do at this stage, especially considering your Sand King is so close to Blink, I feel like it weakens your mid-game potential by committing 2,000 gold to basically a recipe.
It does feel like SNG want to keep that tempo pretty upbeat right now. You know, looking at the item progression, they've got the double Blink Dagger, they have the Puck Veil, they've got the Dragon Lance and Drow. Nobody's going greedy. There are no Midases here.
Oh,
there's no farming pickups. There might be a dead Ake though. Blink, Crush, Veil, see ya. Sin has the Epi though. He's going to let it fly. This time it's a decent connection. Catches out Peto. Stormbolt comes through. Viper's there. Off with your head. Of course EGM gets the last hit. Pound for pound, one of the best kill securing supports in the game.
Yeah, he is no joke. We'll call him the featherweight KS champ.
He's like the anti-PPD.
He really is.
In that regard, anyway.
But you can't really hate him for it because he always uses the farm very well.
So, Blink this game, it looks like, is the build for EGM. Do you like this?
I think it's really good synergy. Like, you want to be able to allow like your Viper and your Lone Druid to just hit stuff. So when you have a Blink Burrow and a Blink Sven stun, it's never bad to have a lot of initiation. That's the way I see it. Because what happens when the game becomes stagnant? Like, how do you start a fight if the puck is just side lane pushing and there's always a tree like running around and scouting? You need to have guaranteed methods of getting in. Against a Drow lineup especially, like you need that gap close.
Crescendo are closing in on the Radiance now. That ticking time bomb of Excalibur draws nigh against amp damage, against Drow. Any sort of mischance is obviously huge.
Yeah, Radiance is it's a step in the right direction. He's gonna need a lot more than just that though this game.
Oh, good scan by the Radiant here. Can they make something happen on the back of it? It's not really their time to fight without the Radiance.
Well, they won't have Epi for another 20 seconds.
Sin wants to set something up. There's no vision of him currently.
It looks like Roshan's just going to be dead before they do anything. The Corrosive Haze, Drow.
Ake might be dead too, along with it. Drops the Sentry, surprise, but Sin is there! He saved his best stunts for this point of the game. Unfortunately though, no epicenter of this fight. He gets chain stunned, he gets controlled. Ake and Sin both down. EGM next. That's a quick 3-hero wipeout as Crescendo are in shambles now after that fight. They give up the Aegis, they lose 3 on top of it.
The scary thing about the lineup of Singularity is that they can also just high ground. Like Jakiro with Drow, they can just straight up go high ground. They even have tree armor to protect the creep wave. Like there is not a tremendous amount of wave clear on the side of Crescendo either. You basically have like Shadow Wave from the Dazzle. I guess a Sand King too with the Caustic. But look at how fast that tower just melts. Very little commitment. Just throwing a couple of liquid fires and auto attacks and it's just dead.
It's pretty scary for Crescendo now. They're getting close to the Radiance, but I think, like you said, they need more than that. This bear is very killable with Amplified Damage or Corrosive Haze, as well as, you know, Puck and Drow, two pretty decent right clickers with the way they've itemized. The Puck's much better base damage.
That bear is going to explode. Yeah. Like it's not going to get much of anything done.
It needs like they really need help from like the Dazzle, the Warcry to keep it alive.
I think most of the time what he'll probably end up doing is just sending it to side lanes just to like passively push out with Radiance Burn. Because if he brings it to a fight, it's just going to die. Like I guess one thing they could do is they could have the double blinks and just blink in together with the bear so that they can't actually target the bear because then they risk just dying. But otherwise, sending it in when there's nothing else really around to take damage, it's just cannon fodder. It's only got 6 base armor. That's nothing.
Do you feel like there's like a timer here for either team, Andy? Or are they both fine just farming going late? Is either team under pressure to make follow-up moves soon?
I think Singularity are still a bit under the gun in the sense that they are running a Drow strat, and the hero does scale better than it used to. But I don't know if you want to take it to the ultra late against what Crescendo is currently fielding, because that Sven can still transition into something other than a support Sven. It's not like he's bought any item that kind of solidifies him as being just nothing but a position 4 for the rest of the game.
Sven has still struggled to find his items, despite that one kill he got earlier, sitting only 4K now, or Cinder not a whole lot better on the Sand King. Crescendo are trying to group around the Bear, around the Viper. They are going for a bit of push of their own, but the push comes quicker from SNG, and they are already onto the base. Remember, they have the tree, so if they're trading tower damage, they're totally fine with that. A couple of key liquid fires here brings this tower almost down to half. EGM will TP in. He'll war cry forward, and he will wisely not walk up this hill. This is the place where they do bad things to you.
That was such a long TP that the Ice Path missed. The first TP came in fog, so he throws the Ice Path assuming that it's going to be a short TP, but a little bit too long. I don't think they wanted to fight anyway. I think they were just trying to bail. Two people were already towards the top anyway. But a quick smoke here reaction from Crescendo.
Smoking into the Aegis, minute and a half to go. Look at the line that just got drawn by Lisas. This man knows. His team does not necessarily, though. Kesor, walking right into it. Hey, if anyone's going to tank the gank, probably ideally it's the tree. He will get caught out. Burrow strike through, and Crescendo, well, they find something. EGM will then gank the creeper.
I mean, that's a tower. You can see the movement from Singularity. They have no intention of defending this. They're just spamming the wave mid.
They'd love to just get the Jakiro like hitting that bottom tower again. Get there.
Yeah, Jakiro is always nice for the chip damage, but siege-wise, if the Spirit Bear is hitting the tower, it's still very fast. Like, that tower is gonna...
They're committing for this, though, Andy, pretty heavily. They want this tower bottom, but Cinder is there, gets the stun on the puck. Ice Path comes through, tries to orb away, and he will make it out, blinking back. Will survive. Still, at least they hold the line for now. That tier 3 is quite low. They also, I think more importantly than the tower top, they got some good wards down for Crescendo, so could set up for the next potential engagement.
Yeah, really good vision coverage from them. The other thing, too, is the bottom tower, the tier 3, is so low. Like 106 health. That's like, what, 2 or 3 Drow auto attacks, more or less?
That's like one liquid fire, basically.
Yeah, it opens up Shrine, and that's very dangerous. Like, Shrines are very, very important for these heroes like Sven and Sand King to be able to get in position to be able to take fights. And also just, you know, for smoking purposes, too. You want to TP to a Shrine, pop a smoke on the high ground, and go for, you know, whatever aggressive move. If you're trying to walk into the ingress points of Singularity's jungle, having those Shrines is invaluable. But as soon as that tower opens up, that's no longer going to be there.
SNG starting to threaten this tier 2 top. At which point the way will lie open to all 3 tier 3s. It's the last outer tower now about to be under siege. Do Crescendo mount a defense? This could be an opening for them. Aegis could not even possibly have been taken or be under threat yet, so they've got about 2 minutes to work with before the potential Roche respawn. See if they want to make something happen during this time. Seems like while they're waiting for that Singularity are pretty content to just slow things down, dodge some fights, farm it up.
They still got a good, like, I would say even 15 to 20 minutes before their lineup really starts to teeter off. Like, it's gonna be a while. Even more so having the Slardar too.
Looking to make their move. They find Ake. They don't finish him though. Great counterplay by EGM. He gets off the grave, got off the war card, getting to work with the bear. The epicenter comes through, and they will take down the puck. That is a huge kill. Out for 50. Dust gets cracked open. Kesor is done for as well. Into the trees, into the waiting arms of the Sven. EGM to the rescue.
That was a pretty fast reaction. That's one of those reactions where you just assume that they knew it was coming.
Yeah,
like
he seemed like he expected that jump.
Yeah. Either way, brilliantly executed there from Crescendo. Get a very, very high value kill on the puck. force the rest of Singularity off their side of the map. Allow themselves some very much needed breathing room as the Bear is now working his way towards the Assault Cuirass after the Radiance. It's actually pretty close to it.
Yeah, it's a big pickup against the Drow, for sure, against the Corrosive Haze. You're not seeing like those huge damage items coming out for this Drow. Exotic Deer, you know, more utility, Hurricane Pike, S&Y. Still hits pretty hard, but oh, they are going to find Ake here. Another silence coming through, but again, the Bear is proving quite the nuisance. The Lone Druid gets into the thick of it. Ake stays alive. He gets the heal up. He's still got the Grave, even drops the Weave on top of it. Just playing this one really tight, and Peytos committing. Will get the bash, and with that, the kill. Had he not bashed, I think the Grave comes out there, and it's a different kind of fight. But they will bring down the Lone Druid, the Viper as well, and now chasing forward EGM. Cinder need to get the hell out of dodge. Sin hides in the trees. He will get silenced up as he tried to Sandstorm, now rooted, controlled. Burrow Strike's ready. Down to the low ground he goes, but Nisha there to cut him off. They get 4, EGM. The lone survivor. Costly fight for Crescendo. That momentum they've been trying to build evaporates. They have no epicenter. Actually, no, sorry, they do. It's up in just a second, but they have no buyback on the Sand King to get it ready. Anisha is looking for more. He jumps onto the Viper once again. Stormbolt blocked by the Lincolns, and now the chase forward. Brute is there, catches 2. Manta out. Can they get the racks? That's the objective. Singularity closing in on what could be their first melee. Big advantage for them if they can grab it. The slow one-man punch. BBK won't actually even get hit by it. They will get the racks. Now they just want to get out. Twin Head with the Lincolns protecting Amnesia. Nice little bit of teamwork there. Ice Path comes through. No teleport scroll, so it's going to be a long, long journey. As a little taunt from Exotic Deer. They will find the Burrow Strike on Nisha. He may live to regret this as they chase him out a bit further with the Bear hounding him. He orbs back and he jaunts as well. He blinks to the north. He will escape. Makes it back to safety. Now, you mentioned, Andy, getting these shrines. It's huge for them, and they've already grabbed 1.
Yeah, they're going to die really fast with just the sheer physical damage output that they have behind the Drow Aura.
EGM, he's out too far. A blink, a crush, an orb. He gets the 2-hero stun. He's going to got strength up. Unfortunately, that is a support Sven. Oh, looks like they have Mercy on him. Didn't want to commit too far. The Puck could be in trouble here if they get that entangle. Bit of blink, won't be able to phase shift, but no, didn't get the root. Meanwhile, in the woods, they find Kesor. Crescendo looking for the tree. He starts marching away. They drop the sentry. They commit for him. He's going to root that Bear. They will take him down, but meanwhile, it's just Jakiro casually looking for this tier 2, the more important objective top. A rainbow of TP starting to come in. Ice Path's ready. He will retreat. The full court presses. SNG are constantly all over the map, and Crescendo very much reacting to them. And oh, by the way, this opens the way to Roche.
They were able to get so much just because of their fast movement across the map. So the fight that happened in the jungle that kind of kicked off everything, they were able to isolate the Lone Druid because the 2 other heroes that offered control both went for the Slardar instead of helping the Lone Druid because he was on like the other side of the tree line between the medium camp and the high ground ward and the Radiant jungle. So they killed the Lone Druid pretty much straight away. And then after that, they just had no more damage because the Radiant's Bear is dead. So they just lose 4 heroes, which results in a melee racks taken. And then there's like these skirmishes all around the map. They get the shrines, or at least one of the shrines, the top one. And then because of that, they're able to just freely walk into the Roshan pit and take it uncontested. So it's like they had an idea of what they wanted to do. And as soon as they get the objective, they set up for the next objective by taking the shrine.
It felt like in chess when someone makes that first move and it's like, all right, well, that might have been the obvious play, but they actually had like 4 additional moves already planned and ready to execute after that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was very, very well executed and planned out there from Singularity.
All right, so if you're Crescendo now, you're down by a pretty substantial margin, 10K gold deficit. Feels like the Lone Druid Bear is pretty easily dealt with so far in these fights. The Viper is, you know, also not really hitting all that hard yet. You've got to spend trying to transition into like maybe a semi-carry, but his farm is a bit lacking. What are you doing here as SNG start to work for the second lane? How do you get back into this game?
I think you got to bait, a bad engagement on the high ground from the side of Singularity. That's really all you can do.
Looks like EGM might want to try to split push top in the meanwhile.
He's got God Strength.
Can at least like force out a glyph and a TP maybe.
Yeah, he forces the glyph. See if they back off. Looks like they're going to.
They do have living armor, though.
Well, you have to be sure that you've either forced a TP or, you know, there's not someone else there in the area before you want to commit the living armor. Because it just gets chopped down way too fast if a full creep wave's hitting the tower, for example. Because if Sven's there, he's killing the whole creep wave in like 2 seconds.
They are trying to set up here, but quickly streaming back into position. Singularity are getting ready for this fight. Cinderin trying to make the move, and it's onto the Jakiro, but he gets caught by a crush. Losing that Sand King this early would be devastating. The Yule Scepter keeps him alive a bit longer, but the puck locks onto him. And while that's all happening, they lost their Dazzle. They lost their Bear, shredded in a matter of seconds. They're going to lose Excalibur too, punched and dealt with. He will be finished off. No buyback available. Out for 50. That's more than enough time to get another lane, and Cinderin still being hounded. He's going to burrow strike away to the north, go for the TP. Oh, a second late was Paytos. Oh, by the way, Drow has a butterfly, SNG, Singularity, pulling this one together. Now up to 12K, 2 lanes, about to be 3. It's looking real grim for Crescendo, not just in this game, but in their tournament run so far. They're already looking like they might be an 0-3 team. Yeah, they played Secret, but aside from that, there's still tough opponents to go around the board as they've lost the, well, Paytos on the way in. Perhaps overextending here, Singularity giving away a double kill to BBK. They will have to back out. They might lose Nisha. Oh, that's a really big loss. So this puck drops again. Blinks away. That auto attack follows him though, and Nisha will TP out. So Crescendo not finding the big kill. Time for the Dagon.
He's been very impressive in most of his games today. Like watching him play, like his DK especially. I don't know if you were here for that game.
No, I was Lumi.
No, but I mean, like, I don't know if you were actually here to even watch it.
No, I was casting the other.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. But he had a really nice DK.
Okay.
As well. So this guy's been, you know, fairly impressive, more or less all day. And yeah, against this type of lineup, it's pretty easy to play puck because there's only one instant stun. Like that's how you measure how hard a puck game is. How many silences are there, and how many really fast cast stuns. And this one is, laning-wise, a bit tricky because it's a Viper, but once you get outside of the laning phase, you can kind of style on them, which is more or less what he's been doing most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, early he did get punished a little bit by the Viper, but it's been all puck all the way as of late. BBK now going to be forced to engage here. Really nice gust is going to push that Sven back. Viper gets locked down. Good control. Follow-up Macro Pyre roasting him within. The Flying Manta has been cooked and devoured. Now Aki likely to be next. Really nice ice path here setting up. We'll find that additional Dazzle kill, and they just clean house. No buyback on Viper. Sand King will try for it. Cinderin rejoins the fray. He's going to have an epicenter. One last hurrah. Crescendo looking to end this game. Not with a whimper, but hopefully with a bang. And no, they'll just GG. So it's a whimper we get as they are now 0-3. Struggle City.
I don't know. I'm not feeling the lone druid.
They've gone to it twice, lost both times.
I just feel like it's, you know, the weird thing is Secret Bandit, and I would consider Secret to be the favorite in the entirety of the qualifiers. So there's obviously something about the hero that the way that Crescendo are playing it is just not working. Because every single game it feels like the hero is just not contributing. It's either taking too long to get online, or, you know, the game is just over because the other lanes just don't do well.
So when I think the team that's run it the most successfully by far has to be Liquid, right? Like they want Epicenter with it, Matumba Man, use a lot. Like they seem to like Lone Druid because it's very versatile. So like they'll put him mid sometimes. They can run him safe lane. I mean, I haven't really seen them run it off lane. In theory, you could in certain scenarios. So it's a flexible laner, and generally Liquid would run it like as part of a dual core. Like we'd never really see like 4 protect 1. Or like even a Viper. It would normally be something with a little more scaling potential.
Right.
So I don't know if it's the heroes around him, if it's just like the team not executing well enough.
I mean, I do, like, I get the whole, he's self-sustaining. He lanes well against pretty much everything. He is very good at sieging in the early game. Like, taking the tier 1s and tier 2s is great, because you get this, like, non-committal bear. You walk in, you punch the tower. Feels really nice. But it just doesn't really seem like it ever, at least for Crescendo, the games that I've watched today, it doesn't seem to ever really get anywhere. It's like, okay, we take a couple of tier 1s, but they're not making the moves fast. You know, it's not like, okay, level 7, take a tier 1. You know, take the tier 1 mid, take the tier 1 in the safe lane. It's always delayed. And, you know, Cinderin obviously didn't have the greatest game of his life. There was a lot of, you know, missed stuns, and even though his laning phase seemed to be pretty good at the start, he just never I don't know. It never really seemed to just click for me.
I will say, like, you look at this team, and Excalibur is he's like a player to me that can take over games, just individual flashy play. It's kind of hard to do that as lone druid most of the time.
It is.
So maybe that's the one thing that doesn't click as well for Crescendo is you're putting like perhaps your biggest playmaker on a hero that just wants to farm for a while. I don't know, something for them to consider perhaps, but they got to change something, Andy, because they're already 0-3.
That's very true. Got to get to the top half of that group.
Yeah, well, if anyone can figure it out, it's a team with 2 TI winners and Cinder.
And Sentry.
And Excalibur, by the way. We're rooting for you, Steve, but Singularity will take this one. So with that, I think Singularity, is this their second win? I'm actually not sure. Maybe.
I feel like I should know that because I watched both their games. But it's late.
Okay.
So we'll say maybe.
We'll say they might have won a game or they might have lost a game, but something definitely happened in the world of Dota. Guys, thank you for joining us. This is the TI7 European Qualifiers. We are going to take a break. When we come back, more Dota awaits you, maybe some updated group standings and maybe some caffeine for me and the old man here.
It was 2 wins.
Okay.